Net Dion here. I want to check something. I'm back. Cannot figure out how to turn the camera around. How are you? It's Friday Night Live. Welcome. What's going on? How you doing? Let me pull the angel over. We need as much divine angel as we can get. We'll wait a few moments for people to show up. Excuse my creaky chair. How you doing? What's going on? So let's keep me alerted as to whether the microphone goes off or the Wi-Fi goes out, or keep me posted. Hey Terry. Terry's in the house. You guys are my team. Cheryl's in Maine. We're back to really rainy weather. I have a saline here where I live that's leaking like crazy. So, anyway, it's a big puddle. Anyway, it's pouring and pouring rain, and it's just been like this for so long. We got a little reprise. Anyway, enough about the weather. I was just listening to a little bit about the new Pope, Pope Leo the 14th, and I was chuckling because they used to call him, when he was a priest in Chicago, they called him Father Bob, and Bob is my dad's name, so it kind of warmed my heart. Because I've been kind of going, hey dad, there's a new Pope, you know, talking to my dad on the other side. His name is Father Bob, was. Now it's Pope Leo. I caught a little clip of Carolyn Levitt today. I don't know if you guys caught any of Carolyn Levitt. I guess you could call her the lying press secretary. Yeah, we'll call Carolyn Levitt the LPS, the lying press secretary. Everything out of her mouth. Everything out of her mouth is a lie. It's amazing. Maria, did you catch my message? Remember how you were worried about the Pope, and I said, I read on it a couple weeks ago, and I said, you're going to like the Pope. And he's from Chicago. And Pope 14 chose Leo as his name because previous Pope Leos are into social justice. I did hear that too. On your way to an indivisible meeting today. Good. You get a bell. Good for you. So anyway, speaking of Carolyn Levitt, I actually heard her at a press conference today. And in that press conference, she was saying, I don't know how they can say this shit with a straight face. She was saying, well, Donald Trump, he's for the people. He's a public servant, and he doesn't even take a paycheck, and he's not making any money from the presidency. It's just like, what? He's a very smart businessman. I'm paraphrasing. I'm giving you the gist of it. Yeah, Maria, your brother's name is Leo. I thought of you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it would be different if it was a lie that was like stretching the truth a little bit, because then it would be believable. But it's just like, are you effing kidding me? I meant to get rid of this flower. Let's just pick flowers and tiptoe through the tulips. So what do you think? Anyway, that floored me. then these ICE people go into, what's up with Newark? What is this? What's going on in Newark? That is anyone here from New Jersey tonight? I know some of you are in New Jersey. So I don't mean to laugh, but it's just like, oh my God, what planet am I on? What country am I in? Yeah, he was protesting at a detention facility, peacefully protesting. It's our First Amendment right. And then, I don't know if you guys ever have the stomach to listen to anything that Stephen Miller says. Direct from the bowels of hell, he is. But he's saying something about that they have a right to arrest American citizens, and it's just like, what? So is ICE the police now? What ICE reminds me of is the Black Lives Matter protests. Because there were, and we can read on it, there were masked individuals dressed like the Russian police, if you ask me, dressed like the Russian police, that were yanking people off the streets during the Black Lives Matter protests. Remember, they were whisking them away into white vans and nobody knew who they were, and we never did find out. Stephen Miller, I mean, when you... No, the new Pope is not a member of Opus Dei. Check your information. Yeah, they were just picking people up off the street. Not up off the street, I mean, there were people... That was a phenomenal protest. Huge, huge protest. The Black Lives Matter protest. It's like we kind of forgot about it. And these were the kinds of things. Warren, can you put in the chat habeas corpus? Can you put the definition of it? And how that might be different from due process without getting us into a whole entire teaching, lawyering teaching. Yeah, so that the George Floyd, the Black Lives Matter protests were huge, 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 huge. But that was the beginning of this attempt at a fascist takeover, to whisk people into vans unidentified. They're supposed to identify themselves. So from our lawyer, Warren Green, the court can order the release of a prisoner, as in you can have the body. Yeah, okay, so prior to that is due process. So I think that the Black Lives Matter protest with that going on was a warm-up to now. So this whole Putin puppet situation with Dumpy, being the Putin puppet, we all know that. It was part of it. ICE arrested a mother who had a newborn in Massachusetts. The neighbors were trying to help her not to get arrested. That terrifies me. I have a niece that just had a baby. So, Congress has the right to suspend the writ of habeas corpus, but isn't that just in war? I need a sip of my fake beer. You think it's a Proud Boys? Just in cases of war and invasion, right. But what I want to tell you about all that's going on right now is that it's very roughshod. It's very kind of, I don't want to say disorganized, but it's very not cohesive. We're being invaded by Putin. Yes, that's true. What's going on is It's not, they keep pushing the envelope, scattershot. Yeah, I'm looking for words to describe what I'm picking up. They're seeing how far they can go. It's not like if you saw Putin's parade, and I do want to read on that because I feel like there were things going on there today at this Victory Day parade, which is supposedly to commemorate that the Soviet Union helped to end the Nazis. But you see, like the Chinese army, you know, they're organized. They're organized, and even the Russian police are very, very organized. This feels scattershot, right? Celtic Seer. But here's the thing: we don't want them to go any further to get more used to this. They're kind of rookies right now. So we need to nip this in the bud immediately. Thank you, Zircon. And he wants to change Veterans Day to Victory Day. And does anybody know what's going on? I don't have a question. We don't have any question yet. Oh, you're talking to someone in the chat. We need to all show up. Also, yeah, excuse me, I have a lot of news to cover, so, and a lot of things that I'm being reminded of that happened today. 15 people going to Libya got stopped. They were planning to send people they arrested to some obscure place in Africa. I mean, and I saw Marco Rubio sitting at the last, it was that ugly cabinet meeting where I commented it was a band of demons in that cabinet meeting room, where Marco Rubio, like last week, sat there and was like, we're looking into where else we can build concentration camps in the world to deport people to. Okay. Yeah, Russia was today. Russia's parade. So, excuse me, I'm just kind of catching up on headlines and what we can discuss. All right, so I did a pop-up earlier. I did an off the ledge earlier. I'm deciding which cards to use. Thank you for being here. Please hit the thumbs up when we get to 200 thumbs up. We will do a group hug. We didn't get a group hug in on Wednesday. Is Rubio, your question, is Rubio's heart now black? Is his soul still intact? No, he's done. These people are done. Their souls are fried. All right, glad you like the pop-up. Let's use the Psychic Tarot. So this morning's off the ledge. I told you all that I feel very heartened by the new Pope. All those horrible people, all those MAGAs, all those people that are just inflicting cruelty, they have it coming to them. They do. They have it coming to them. I mean, because that's the law of karma. So 3 cards. I'm going to pull 3 cards. I'm actually thinking about the mayor. His last name was Baraka. The mayor that was arrested. And you all have probably heard about the Vatican choosing an American priest. Is they didn't choose an American, an American pope. They hadn't chosen an American to be a pope ever, because America was considered kind of like having enough power. So a little more than 100 days in to this fascist dictator, I should probably stop calling him that, but anyway, just to dissolve the energy around that idea. But anyway, it was because America is no longer on top. America has lost its standing on the world stage. This is how much damage that one horrible, horrible person can do. And I have a lot of hope. I have a lot of hope with the new Pope. So, I'm pulling 3 cards about the mayor that got arrested in Newark. The reason that I said, what's up in New Jersey and Newark, because they had the blackout at the airport. It wasn't really a blackout. I'm not sure what happened, but there's many, many layers to everything that's going on right now. So I'm going to be kind of working overtime as a psychic. I hope Thomas is having a great time in Italy too. I bet he had no idea that we were going to have a new pope while Thomas was there. So we don't have any dad jokes as of lately, because our infamous Thomas is vacationing. The gall of him to go on vacation. Mayor Baraka of Newark, New Jersey. This is really letting the cat out of the bag in terms of how awful and how anti-constitutional this illegitimate administration is. The 8 of Pentacles. I think that the mayor gets out of this because he didn't do anything wrong. So that's what they're doing. They're seeing if they can get someone to bend to their will, because it's worked. The radar went down in Newark. It's worked for certain situations, like Columbia University bent the knee. And, what's his face? Weiss, the law firm. Several law firms bended the knee. People we didn't think would bend the knee, like Joe and Mika at MSNBC. Gretchen Whitmer to some degree, and I should look at that. So many people. No, Stephen Miller is not the actual president. Oh, don't make me puke. They got a certain distance with their intimidation. So that's why right now we can't let... Yeah, people are getting really pissed. I totally agree with that. Zuckerberg, there are so many. There's a long list of people that have bent the knee. But I kind of sense that that phase of their getting in is over, and now people are getting hip to them. I don't get that Stephen Miller is making the major decisions. Just so you know, I mean, you're here for my psychic impression, so... just responding to the chat. Let's ask how far they'll get. Let's ask how far they'll get. I might need the nefarious cards. Just in terms of them continuing, because I really get that when we push back and we push back and we push back and we push back, that they're going to be like, we don't know what to do, because what they're doing is highly illegal. You don't just arrest people because you feel like it. You don't arrest and deport people. You don't arrest and put people on an airplane and send them out of the country to a concentration camp. For that matter, you don't freaking send people to concentration camps, even if they've committed a heinous crime. It's not what we do. Nefarious cards. They must be hiding. Here they are. Nefarious cards. What I'm reading on is how far these so-called ICE agents can go. You feel like arresting Trump? Oh, I feel like what I'm feeling like is not that mild. It's more than arresting him. Okay, so he has hurt so many people and continues to. Please hit the thumbs up. We need 200 thumbs up before we do a group hug. How far will they go? How do they recruit these ICE agents? Thank you, Terry. If you're wondering what question I'm asking, ask Terry. Or look at what Terry is writing. And when I forget what questions I'm asking, I look up to see what Terry's writing. Good to see you in the chat. Awesomeness is putting her desires for what she wants to have in Dumpy. God will take care of him. Yeah, John Roberts needs to remove the felony. Yeah, his immunity, absolutely. He wasn't eligible to run for president. Amendment 14, Section 3. He aided and abetted and planned an insurrection. How far will they get? Well, okay, it doesn't look like they'll get that far because I have the fool. All these people with their, their face masks, and it's not because of COVID, their face masks, big tough, they got their guns, they got their vests, they grab someone by the neck, they think they're so cool. Small people, small people, small people. What the hell? I'm so tough, I have an ice vest. I'm patrol, I'm ice patrol. Bunch of effing fools. They think they're tough. Elect a felon, get a continual crime scene. That's almost like a dad joke. I like it. I like it. It's true. We're so tough. We think we're so tough. Whoever orchestrated the January 6th is also orchestrating this. I would say that that's Dumpy, but it's somebody else is being indicated here that has more, shall we say, a higher IQ, more finesse. ICE and NATO ICC and NATO are keeping an eye on them. Yeah, I do think that that's true, and holding the receipts. Yeah, he was a convicted felon, right? Anyway, so I'm asking about these ICE agents, so-called ICE agents, and what they are doing. Are they going to be able to continue? The fool indicates no. The fool indicates cat's out of the bag. We know what you're doing. We know your shtick. We've been through this drill. It's kind of like the gaslighting thing in the sense that they just keep saying the same thing over and over. Like what I was saying earlier, Carolyn Levitt. Oh, the president he's not in it for the money. He's not in it for himself. He's in it for the American people. It's too glaringly obvious that they're lying. And so now we only expect lying and gaslighting. And now we expect these fake ICE agents to come out acting all tough. And not to say that they're not getting somewhere, because they are. The student from Tufts was sent back from the detention center in Louisiana. Well, she was basically in prison. And she had asthma, and they wouldn't give her asthma medication. So she was suffering in a detention prison in Louisiana. She got sent up to Vermont today. I haven't followed the story too much today. Did any of you guys see? I don't want to just completely mutilate her name. But she was a Tufts University grad student that they just went onto the campus. She got released from Vermont. She got released because she got released from Louisiana. They put her through all that for exercising her First Amendment rights. And let's make sure, her last name is Azturk. Was it Ramesa? Something like that. There were a lot of signs in Boston when I went to the rally to say, free her. I'm not reading about Trump and the Enrico Tarrio meeting at the White House and at Mar-a-Lago. I'm not reading about it. I'm not giving that any energy. Jen, are you in Canada? Jen's not ever coming to America ever again. Can you say something nice now? Because you just made us feel sad. I'm serious. Can you say something nice now? Because I made us feel sad. Ramesa Ozturk, yeah. The judge said that Ramesa's detention threatened to chill the speech of millions of non-citizens and ordered her release. Yes, absolutely. Well, Jen, I'm just asking if you can say something nice because we're hurting down here. We're your neighbors and we love Canada. Yeah, and someone just said it's sad that other countries think we all love Trump. Awesomeness said I would visit again because you have family and when it's safe. Thank you. I just want to I want to take a pause of a moment. You know I had a shirt behind me. It's in the other room now that said, "Hey Canada, we hate him too." And I'm going to take a pause because we're hurting. We are hurting. This is very, very painful, what we're going through. And if it were Canada, we'd be in support too. Because, you know, and there are Russian people that are really hurting. Navalny tells me all the time through the ethers, we need to pray for the Russian people. We are all humans in this together. We love you. I even mentioned that my ancestors are from Quebec. They were all my great-grandfather and my grandfather's family. So I want to just say that this is really hard. And it makes me feel like crying when people that are in the chat say, we're never coming to America again. Ouch! If it weren't for us taking one for the team, if it wasn't for America taking one for the team and teaching everyone a lesson, don't vote for the Trump-loving guy in your country. We are all hurting. And many people in the chat have ancestry in Canada, like I was saying. Maybe we can become a province of Canada. I'm down with that. I'm sorry. When you just said never ever coming to America, never ever again, it just really was upsetting. And I'm not picking on you. We're just upset. We love Mark Carney. We're totally on his side. The world is hurting, absolutely. So let's all be nice, and you always are, so we're good. Have we had enough tonight? You guys, you can ask me a question if you want. Does anyone want to ask a question? Sometimes I get pushed over the edge. It happens. The world is disgusted by the ineptitude in our country, and we're disgusted by the ineptitude in our country. We are really disgusted by the ineptitude. Maureen's asking when will it be over. I'm going to tell you that I feel like we are in, and this is what's going on with me tonight too. We're amping up, and for all of us, we're amping up to a very strong full moon in the sign of Scorpio. So everything is really intense. And I just want you to know, I'm gonna share my experience as a psychic over the past couple of days. My guides have thrown me into a kind of a somber, it's not sad, it's a very serious vibration. No, what's going on in America is not okay. And we have been feeling the pain for 10 years now, even when Biden was in. Because they wouldn't, it was basically a media coup against Joe Biden. And it's so painful to see good people that are, and I'm not picking on you, Jen. I hope you're not thinking that I'm picking on you. I'm expressing how we're all feeling. It was really difficult. Full moon in Scorpio will leave a major imprint. And so for 10 years, we've had to endure going from Barack Obama to this shit. And apparently it's our turn to go through this. We're doing our best to rise up. But I have been really picking up on the energy of there's some serious shit getting ready to go down. It wasn't just Fox that was doing it though, Mark. It was mainstream media, even MSNBC. It was a coup against Biden. So we couldn't really, and then the disappointment of Kamala losing when it got stolen from her, and that we have to deal with this fallout. So there's some real serious energy. I talked about it today. We have to get real quiet. We have to get real peaceful within ourselves to send that vibration out, because there's some stuff getting ready to come at us that we need to, it's an ongoing coup. Yeah, we're under attack, and we have been for 10 years, really. Let's pull 3 cards. I'm sorry. I'm going to ask all of you when you think it's going to end. No, we know how it looks. Jen, the reason I'm saying what I'm saying, because you're saying I don't think you all realize how it looks from across the border and outside your country. It looks out of control and the government is untrustworthy. That's exactly what I'm saying. Is how difficult that, exactly what you said, is. Stabbed to the heart for 10 years. Absolutely. Thank you, Terry. When do you think it'll end? Put your prediction in the chat. Some people are saying July to September. I feel that it's close. And also, I think America just needs a dose of what other countries go through. So we're going to pull 3 cards about the most heinous of the most heinous, the Stephen Millers, Alina Habba, because she's saying that the mayor of Newark committed some kind of heinous crime when he didn't. He was exercising his free speech rights. It's not sustainable. That's absolutely true. I think America needed a wake-up call to learn what freedom is about also. And I think America needed a wake-up call to get us to understand that government by the people means by the people. And we should be fined for not voting like they do in Australia. So 3 cards, and I'm kind of lumping them all into one lump of you know what. the Christy Gnomes, Cash Patels, the Stephen Millers, the Carolyn Levitts. Oh my gosh, there's so many of them. Mike Johnson, MAGA Mike. What you typing there, Gloria? You having a cocktail? What's going to happen to them? It's okay, they will inflict as much pain as they can. It's going to be exhausting for them before the truth comes out. I don't feel that they're going to get very far with this ICE stuff, with what they're doing, with tearing our country apart and down. The Ace of Swords is a sword of truth. So, what I'm picking up is, don't think that these heinous people in this criminal administration are feeling all that confident, because I don't pick that up. Gloria was cleaning her keyboard, and that's why we got all that gibberish. That's funny. Okay, so let's read on the stupid military parade that I don't think is going to happen. And I've got real strong senses that something big is going to happen against the fascists. Talk amongst yourselves while I go to locate a pendulum. You have to excuse me. This is my 4th video today. I don't know how Ben Mycelis does it. I'm trying to be like Ben Mycelis. I'm doing like 5 videos a day. Zircon, I know you're saying I don't want the parade. Who does? do you? Who do you know that wants the parade? Hashtag this isn't normal. That's true. How do you clear the energy from the hate you feel? Let me answer this question. Let me do this and then I'll answer that. Watch off the ledge for one. Is Dumpy's military parade because he wants to be like Pootie? Is this military parade gonna happen? No, I don't see it. A kazoo marching band playing YMCA for Dumpy? Yeah, that would be nice. Okay, so this is what you do. This is going to help you to bring down the anger level. I'm going to just give you something that I know. Is that, and I mentioned this yesterday on one of my videos, I think it was the pop-up. Because of what America's going through, Canada elected the liberal guy. That's why. That's why. So that brings more light into Canada. Thank you, Barbara. It gets exhausting. It really does. It's all out of love, but it does get exhausting for all of us, not just me. So, but we do have to express how we feel. You know, we do have to express how we feel. So I give people a pass. So if you want to say hate and swear, you know, we got to get it out of our systems. We hate him. We have reason to hate him. So because of what America's gone through with Dumpy and seeing what happened there, Canada was leaning towards the Trump-favored candidate last year. But they saw what happened to us, so they went all for democracy, all in with Mark Carney. Is anyone here from Australia? I know it's it's tomorrow in Australia. But in Australia, they leaned way away from the Dumpy guy, the Trump-like guy, and they were all in with democracy. Right? Then, what happens? the Vatican sees what the hell's going on over here in America, I'm sure they went, what the hell is that? All the Italians with their Italian accents. Anyway, the Vatican, I know the cardinals are from all over the world, but they decide to pick an American-born pope, born in Chicago. That's one country, two countries, three countries if you include the Vatican. I know it's a city, but as a country, right? So what is happening here is pushing the world, the war in Ukraine. What's happening here? We're having to put up with all this and wake up with all this happening. And when Joe Biden was in office, because of Dumpy and all that mess, because Dumpy made Ukraine vulnerable. Anyway, NATO became stronger, and NATO added more countries, and the European Union came together. What do they call them? The band of, I forget, they have a name for it. These countries came together and got to know each other, the world leaders, and they formed pacts. And they said, we're in this together. We're going to stick together. I thought the Vatican was considered a city. I didn't think it was considered a country. So somebody's asking how to stop being angry. Just notice that the world is small in a certain way. And things that are happening, we don't like it, we can't explain it, but it's moving things around because that's the nature of things. And I do feel that this orange monster, buffoon, vile, demonic, satanic, horrible human being is here as a catalyst for more light to come in. I'm taking the bigger perspective. He's a catalyst for the light to come in. We hate it. But if we were on another planet watching what's happening here, we'd probably be like, oh, isn't that interesting how that thing's moving and that thing's moving. And this is a great equalizer too, because we're not on top anymore. We're not on top of the world anymore. Nor do we really need to be. It's not lost on you. The Pope's name is Leo, and the Pope is a Virgo with, I think, a Virgo moon. And let's also know that we voted for Kamala. And let's also know that Elon rigged the whole system. So we voted for Kamala. We did. So as far as how to not be so angry, recognize that this is a big, big, big thing that's going on here. And we won't know until all the pieces have kind of fallen into place. This administration that's criminal is not going to last. What they're doing is unsustainable. I'm reading on Dumpy. We love Kamala, and Kamala won, and her astrologically, all her aspects point to she will be the president. Yeah, we almost lost it when Dumpy came into power. We love everybody here in the chat, but you know I always call people out when what they say makes us go, oh, just to the heart. That's all. Dumpy. I have the moon card. I have the Ace of Cups. Over the top, losing his mind. Very challenging time for him. He fell down and can't get up, you're saying? It will collapse. Absolutely. Reading on the big felon. I'm gonna read on why he's always sitting down in a chair. Does that catch anybody else as odd? How it's just like he's a big walrus behind the resolute desk that he made fun of Joe Biden for calling it that. This big walrus in the Oval Office, right? And the press comes in and he's just like, boo, 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 like a big bullfrog. And that's an insult to bullfrogs. What is that? What's going on with that? Let's take a look. Michael, you're not alone. When Dumpy got elected in 2016, you are not alone in that. Oh, do we have... Oh, thank you for hitting the thumbs up. We have enough to do a group hug now. His eyes look like two slits. You're absolutely right. So, we're going to read on that. Terry, so good to have you in the chat. He looks like Jabba the Hutt. It's really weird. Every day that passes, it gets worse, not better. And everything gets worse before it gets better. The darkest time is right before the dawn. There's nobody home. We're reading on that. What's up with that? The world sees it. He's not feeling good. He's under a lot of pressure. That's why is he sitting all the time. Okay, this is the third time the moon card came up. Warren, I'm in the middle of a sentence. I love you guys. That's why I can yell at you, because I love you, because you're like my family. Stop it. Remember I used to always yell at Warren? He's from New York. I'm from Boston. We can take it. This is the third or fourth time the moon card came up. Oh wait, not the world. The moon. The moon. But the world is connected. He looks really, really sick. He does. And I'm reading on his health. Part of the reason... So the moon keeps coming up. Part of the reason that he's sitting down all the time is he can barely... I think that when he goes to Mar-a-Lago, I think he probably golfs for like a half a day. I think the rest of the time he's sleeping. What are you saying? I'm the walrus cuckoo cuckoo. You know I love you guys, right? I mean, I get like all bent out of shape sometimes, but doesn't mean I don't love you. Jen. The moon, 3 of Wands, yeah. Everything that they're giving him to keep him perky and it's not working. Being haunted at the White House. Should we ask? I think my pendulum just fell. I think he's being haunted at the White House. I do, and I think Ivana haunts him. Oh, the kind of dementia he has? You think he has dementia and it causes dizziness and imbalance? He's getting pumped full of some funky fluids. Yes. Yes. Yeah, Jen, we just want you to know that as frustrated as you are living in Canada, I wish I lived in Canada right now. The moon, the world, he's trying to make himself stay awake. That's why he's sitting in that chair. That's part of it. I never got that he had her pushed down the staircase. Yeah, he has really puffy eyes. Anyway, I'm mentioning the moon card keeps coming up, which indicates that this Scorpio full moon is going to bring something really big. You think he's going to have another stroke? Possibly. Okay, it's time for a group hug, but let me just first ask this. Is the Orange Menace, we'll call him, is he going to have a health episode? He is. I don't think I've ever gotten no on that. We've reached the quorum for a group hug. So since we had all that hullabaloo earlier, see, Jen, you were just a catalyst. We're going to give each other a big hug, because we're all in pain. We're all in emotional pain. And in our group hug, I want us to really hug each other. Okay? And we're going to hold in our hugs all the people that are afraid, all the people that have been arrested, all that. Okay? All the people that are struggling. But mostly tonight, let's hug each other. Okay? 1, 2, 3. We're hugging everybody who's here and even everybody who watches later. That we feel uplifted and inspired and hopeful and full of faith and trust that we will get through this and the world will be a better place. All right. Isn't that better? Isn't that better? Doesn't that feel good? Thank you. Rose says, I think he'll have a health incident before his birthday, as do I. Thank you, Terry. Oh, I forgot. I made tea earlier. It's ice cold. But I forgot. Look, the Wi-Fi worked tonight. It's a miracle. Maybe we can ask Pope Francis if he has a message for us. It's going to take a lot to take the put the Magagenie back in the bottle, but it's. I said this morning. That I look at MAGA like in the rear view mirror. When I think about MAGA, it's going away. We'll read the tea leaves in a sec. First, I want to look at some more cards. All right. Which nasty person do you want me to read on? Let's read on MAGA. A group. They're getting weaker and weaker. Yes. Warren, don't worry about Shady Vance. Really, don't worry about Shady Vance. When they go, they all go. So I'm reading on MAGA. Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, the Devil. Once they realize, isn't it plain as day? Like I said, when Dumpy posted a picture of himself dressed like the Pope. That was a sign of the demonic, and these MAGA people hating the new Pope because the new Pope preaches caring and compassion. Yeah. So MAGA, it becomes very clear that MAGA is the Antichrist, pretty much. They hate the Pope. Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands. It's going to be the powerful females. Mark, you're making people laugh. It's going to be the powerful females that bring us out of MAGA. That's a huge component. His legs are weak. I don't know. Lots of good energy coming. Okay. As far as J.D. Vance goes, if you want my impression, he's committed some really, really big, as has Kristi Noem. Those two are like top of the list when I think about them. When I think about the ones that have committed the most egregious world crimes. Yeah, isn't it becoming very clear that MAGA is the demonic? It manifests. They hate the idea of loving one another. It bothers them to the hilt. It's time to read some tea leaves. Oh, what were you gonna... Oh, you want me to channel Pope Francis? Okay, before we... I did mention it. Before we read the tea leaves, let's ask Pope Francis if he has anything for us. Be unrelenting in your forgiveness. That's what I just got. Be unrelenting in your forgiveness. I hope that helps. Love your MAGA neighbors. Before I go any further, I had a moment yesterday that I was listening to Ben Meiselas, and somebody was asking him how MAGA could be so, how this could have ever happened, and he started to talk about these people that were just so vulnerable, and they were seeking something, and they were lonely and feeling like they just needed help, and then along came the con man. And that's who the con men go for. And when he was talking about that, all of a sudden I felt so sad for them. Yeah, I forgive everyone, I forgive everyone. We sing that chant at my church. And so I don't feel sorry for Trump, but I feel sorry for the people that really just fell in, that were good people, and that's still in there. So be relentless in your forgiveness. Unrelenting in your forgiveness is a message. And compassion, the word compassion was coming to me all day yesterday. I mentioned it here. Have a drink on your cabinet. It's a full moon time. I'll come back with a PNN pop-up tomorrow, not live. I really appreciate you guys. Take your MAGA neighbors to McDonald's. I love it. You get a bell for that. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's gonna end. Don't worry. All right. Let's see what the tea leaves say. I'm so pleased that the Wi-Fi didn't conk out tonight. Well, we have Mars. There's a disconnect of support for Vladimir Putin after that parade today. There's a break in the war. What do we see? That looks like I see like a Native American kind of there. I see what looks like Native American things. Like I see an arrowhead. That's a bottle. Don't drink much. That's a bottle. That's a bottle of beer. This is somebody. This is an attempted assassination right here. See that? There's a person on the ground shooting a gun. That's an attempted assassination that gets blocked, it looks like. And then this looks like a demon. See the wings there? Yeah. It also looks like a demon. See the wings? Like a gargoyle kind of? So this is the real evil that we're dealing with. There's some kind of attack being planned, but it looks like it's going to get intercepted. I feel that what I'm seeing here, and there's like, that looks like a native that's kissing something there. See, there's a head, it looks like there's a hat and kissing something. But anyway, what I'm seeing is, I think that we're going to see Hegseth being held accountable for what he's done. Go Sox. The Red Sox playing tonight? Anyway. Is that why? That's probably why people left. Not that you're all Red Sox fans, but sometimes people drop off suddenly. So there's a lot going on in the cup, and there's a lightning bolt there. There's a lot going on that has to do with war, with attacks and war. Dancing or running. I see running. I really feel this whole security breach with Hegseth and all that coming to some kind of a head. I mean, I think we all need to be praying because we are in danger. I mean, I'm not telling you something that we don't already know. We're in danger. And so that's why having a new pope who preaches kindness and diversity and accepting one another, That's why it was pivotal, and that's from America. I feel like there's a lot of people praying for America, and I want to thank you all from other countries for praying for us. And we're praying for you. We're praying for the whole world. If you're a member of my channel, I'm teaching this class right now. It's a book that I wrote for as little as $7.99 a month. You have access to my classes that are videos that are set for members only. Please book a reading, psychic@dion.com. We have a surprise for you next week, so stay tuned. Church of Spirituality is every Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern. We did a meditation last night for Healing America, guided meditation for Healed America. Please check that out. I'm doing about 4 videos a day, so when I help you and you help me, we're all in balance. Thank you. Love you guys. It was an interesting show tonight. Calm yourself down. Upload the meditation app, Miracle of Mind, because you're going to need to meditate the next few days. Okay? Love you lots. See you soon. Be good to yourselves. Go have some fun.